Shabbat Shalom. One of the oldest pieces of anti-Jewish rhetoric comes to us from the Romans. They had some observations that they were sharing with their fellow Romans about the people who lived in Judea and some of their funny practices. One of the things they could not understand was the practice of circumcision. But another thing that they couldn't understand was how it could be that the Jewish people believed in a God that allowed them to only work 6 out of the 7 days. After all, in the Roman ethos, Rome wasn't built in a day. They had all kinds of highways that they needed to build and monuments and things like that. And that was the kind of undertaking that required 7-day-a-week dedication. You needed no kind of rest because it was important to build and to build. And so the Romans could not understand this strange group of people living in the province of Judea who apparently their God told them they were allowed to not work for 1 day out of 7. That was ridiculous. The Romans said, these Jews, these Judeans must be lazy. And it's from there that we know that we have built ourselves a reputation of being a people that hold fast to this idea of Shabbat, this idea of rest. And it's that idea of rest that we find extends in our Torah portion to even rest for the land, that 1 year out of every 7, we're supposed to leave a field to be fallow as a Shabbat to God. And one of our B'nai Mitzvah students reminded me when I shared them this story. They said, the Romans might have worked 7 days a week, but where are they now? It's the Jewish people who have continued on well past Rome. And perhaps that was because we were able to follow after God, follow after Shabbat, and we were allowed to survive and keep ourselves, pace ourselves perhaps, and give ourselves a little bit of rest and respite to allow ourselves to make it through the long haul. I hope that you find some inspiration in this, not to say that working only 6 days out of the 7 means that we are lazy, but it means that we have an opportunity, in fact, to reconnect with ourselves, to rest, to recharge, and to do so not just because it's optional, right? This is not an optional kind of self-care, but we can do it because God has commanded that we do it as well. Let that be some inspiration for us and for the ways that all that we need to do in order to keep ourselves sustained and secure and moving through this world with the fortitude and the ability to do so. Shabbat Shalom.